Right, going live now in the group. Sweet. Woo! Thanks so much for joining us, you guys. We're super excited to be here. Friday coming at you. We got a big weekend dare for you. But starting out,
and I'm so excited because this kind of goes off content, and I did my content yesterday, and I was like, crap, I gotta go do more. Oh, so we'll go into that here in a second. But yeah, what was your
and so just real quick little recap. If you have any questions, trying to find the Zoom link or the replays, where to find that, that's always at the top. It's a pinned post. So go there in the description. It has all the links in there. Excited to get in today. So the first week was all about defining DMO. So even though we give you daily dares, every day we want you to keep doing that finding DMO. It's the
connecting, the 5 C's.
Yep.
Connecting,
creating content, converting.
The last one is
celebrating.
First
one was, I thought wasn't community. I'm getting confused because we're going to talk about community today. So sorry, I can't think about it.
We have them all down because they changed up the wording then from like last year, because it was like finding, and so we had different words. So that's where it's throwing us off, because it's like, what are those 5 C's? But it's still
commenting. Awesome. Commenting. So commenting, creating content, connecting, converting, celebrating. So that was the first week. Last week was about lead gen and kind of how to find people individually into different groups, which is kind of more focused on the commenting, first finding DMO. This week's about the second focused is on creating content. So we talked about all different creating content types, and yeah, so we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah. And you guys, I'm going to go back a little bit. So we've heard from people, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over, that it feels like it's a fire hose. It feels like I'm so overwhelmed. What do I do? I know exactly what you're talking about. When I did the 90-day last year, I said nonstop words, I hate this. This is the worst thing. I'm never doing this again. And even months later, I'm like, I'm never doing a 90-day again. You asked me to do this. Like, I am going to run away and scream. No way. Like, it is overwhelming. It is stressful. It can be if we let it. Since we changed our whole focus behind it, now it's like, oh, by doing this, it may seem like that at first, but we've created a habit out of this. So it's like, oh my gosh, I do this already. So I'm going to just up my game. Instead of doing 10 a day, I'm going to do 15, or I'm going to do it. And it's the same thing with lives. I tell people that just if you're going to add another day, don't go and say, I'm going to go live 5 days a week for 3 hours each. No, I want you just to add 1 extra day for 5 minutes, just for 5 minutes, and just create a habit and get used to doing it. And so that's the same thing. It's just taking action is better than not doing it. And Robbie says all the time, we don't do overwhelm. We aren't stressed. So how can we take a step back and systematize it or make it easy? And it's always plan, do a review, because we did that today. We had something going on and I was like, no, I'm just, this is overwhelming me. What do I do? And he's like, let's take a step back. Let's walk through this. How can we simplify this? And I'm like, okay, this makes sense. I can do this. So that's what I want you to do, is just see everything, or take, I've told other people, take all the ideas from all these days and write them down on a piece of paper. And just start doing one. Still show up every day, get the ideas. And then once you kind of get into a habit of that, do the next one. But it's just, you're getting this training just to move you forward.
Yep. So getting into some wins and follow up on homework. How's everything going? We talked about stories yesterday. How was the win? Any wins, any stories? My mom had a big win with her stories. We wish she was here. We're feeling like it's a little bit easier to have 2 people here. That's why we used to have 3 people. We're kind of having 2. So I feel like it's a little bit easier, not as much as a fire hose when there's 3 people, because we're all kind of talking at the same time. So that's why we're only having 2 people.
Excited that it's right. Like, I want to talk, and it's like, Robbie, you said it. I didn't want to say it. So
that we might, going forward, we might just have 2 people. So it's a little bit easier for us to like explain things. But anyways, going to you guys. Any good wins? Any good feedback? Any questions with things with the stories, or any wins from?
I'm pulling up Mom's thing because I'm showing them. So if you go to Mom's story,
hold on 1 second. Let's let them do a couple wins first. Let's see. Win. Karen said, my reel we did earlier this week got me 2 potentials. Heck yeah, Karen.
I do mine after my shows. I had response from my first Instagram. Today I met 2 friends. She's opening a tattoo shop and letting me put jewelry. Good job.
Awesome, Darren.
And this is just getting your minds going that you guys, there are floral shops that like people need gifts. Go talk to floral shops.
Right. How's everybody doing with the finding DMO that we've talked about? Is anybody still continuing to do it? Have they made it any little like progress steps with it?
So
how's that been going?
As far as the finding DMO?
So the finding DMO, we just summarized it fairly. Finding DMO is the commenting. Mm-hmm. We talked about this all this first week. So every single day, you should be doing the finding DMO on top of the dare. So the finding DMO should honestly should take maybe a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. So it's commenting, only 10 to 15 minutes of commenting in other people's Facebook groups, other Instagram followers or hot prospects. And then creating some more content, which we're doing a lot of times in the dare. So that's already done. And then connecting, you're going into either people from your feed or other people and connecting with them individually.
And you're doing find, add, and message. So you're just doing this, even if you only have 15 minutes to do all of it. Say, I'm going to do 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here. Something is better than nothing. And yesterday was this, wasn't it?
Right. Yep. This is a story. So anybody want to comment anything? We would love to hear from you guys. Anybody want to say anything about a win? Hearing back from you guys.
Look at Divas right there. That one's awesome.
I'm getting a lot of followers from DMO. Awesome. Awesome. Diva Bling by Mildred. Awesome. So this is kind of like, it could be just a daily, you're only doing it for half an hour, 45 minutes. And then all of a sudden in 6 months to a year, we'll look over our shoulder and like, wow, my following has grown a lot. It might be growing slowly, a little bit by a little bit, but overall you're going to see a jump. Yes, I do the DMO daily. It has helped me get tons more followers. Awesome, Kimberly. Awesome.
And Beverly's is awesome. So these are comments that we see on Facebook. Beverly said, since I started doing Reels, I've been getting a lot more views. So as you're doing this, you're going to get more viewers coming to you on your lives on different things. So this is why these things are really good to do.
Awesome. Well, do you mind if we get into the training then? Let's do that. Okay. So
you guys, yesterday, I'm going to hurry and say, so mom did her thing. I don't know if you guys did yours or not, but she did hers and I did mine. And she said that she's gotten tons of comments from it. She's had more followers. So like, we're doing this with you guys. I hope you guys are seeing the same success. Like, this is so much fun that it's not stressful. It's a fun game to play. Just look at it as I'm playing this fun game and how am I going to do this?
Yep. So, first of all, we're going to give you the dare. That's what he gave us first. And then we're going to do the dare and then we're going to give you a little bit of training. Okay. So the dare, on Fridays, we always give 3 different levels. One level is a Friday. Level 2 is a Friday and Saturday. And then level 3 is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you want to go all out. Okay. So level 1 is you're going to create 3 reels. So we talked about reels. It's short form content. You're going to create 3 reels and put them on all the platforms that you're on. If you don't have TikTok, if you only have Facebook and Instagram, you can just focus on the 2. Okay. We don't want you to go in if you don't have a TikTok account or a YouTube Shorts account. Don't go too crazy. Just focus on what you're on. Okay. I would say at least have 2. To be honest, try at least have 2. We're trying to grow up our Instagram right now. Our Facebook has been our main thing we've been focusing on for the last few years, and we're slowly getting into Instagram and TikTok.
And YouTube. But it didn't just happen. Like, we started with Facebook and then we went to Instagram and then we eventually added in TikTok and now we're starting to add in. It wasn't all at once, you guys.
Right.
So just do one and master that and get used to it. And then you can add the other things.
And the thing that's nice about Facebook and Instagram is they're the same company. So it's easier to share reels over to different places. So when you create the reel, you want to have a strong focus on a call to action on this reel, whether it's either having them to comment something below, have you follow them, or message. Never all 3 and never more than 1. Whenever you do a call to action, only one thing at a time. Only one call to action at a time.
So again, you're going to ask them to either comment or follow or message, but not all 3. So do one of them and have that of whatever you want to do in there. comment below this, or say, like we've talked about these different things.
Yep.
Use your imagination with that.
Yep. So it's like, if you like this content, you'll love what I have posted tomorrow. Comment, drop a fire emoji down below, and we'll make sure that I let you know what my content is tomorrow. I'll reach out to you. Okay. So just to reiterate, level 1 is creating 3 reels. Level 2 is creating creating 6 reels, and level 3 is creating 9 reels. And then we're going to post those to all the different platforms that you're on.
And that's
okay?
per day, correct? No. That's a total. So it would be
3 if you're only doing
Friday would be 3. If it's you do Friday and Saturday, you do 3 Friday, 3 Saturday. So that's 6. If you go all out and you do 3 Friday, 3 Saturday, and 3 Sunday, then that's 3, 6, 9. Okay,
yep.
so it's just 3 day. That's yep. The dare.
Yep. So what we're going to do with those is that's your dare. Okay. And something you talked about is you talked about the 3-hour rule. We're going to a little bit of a training now. 3-hour rule is on any platform that you're on, you want to wait at least 3 hours to post the next part of content. Stories, you said, doesn't matter. You can post stories.
Stories or groups don't matter, but pages, personal page, whatever it is, that is wait 3 hours.
Yep. So if you post in the morning at like 9, you want to wait at least 3 hours before you send the next one. The reason for that is what he said is that way you're not competing on your own content you've already put out there on the timeline. Okay. So if you're doing 3, if you're going to create 3 today or 3 tomorrow, you're going to post it in 3-hour increments. Okay.
And I'm going to just back up just a teeny bit. So I'm going to tell you guys a little secret that I do is I batch content. So right now you'll see a reel with my hair all done and my makeup's done. And this is what I look like today. So people don't know that, but I have it scheduled out. It's a non-negotiable every Thursday from 2 to 4 o'clock. I create reels and that's all I do. My phone is off. I do nothing else. And I had gone through the day before, a couple days before. I have another day that I've scheduled out that I'll go through and I'll see what's trending. I'll save them all. And then on that day, I do one, hurry and record one. And you guys, this is my secret. I have 10 or 15 ready. So then I do 2 of them, have my jewelry on, do 2 of them, take my shirt off, put on new jewelry, do another 2 reels. I batch it all out and I do it all in the same time, because if I have to think about every single day of, oh my gosh, what am I going to do in this? It's so much easier just to do it. Boom, boom, boom. And I just do 2 or 3 in one of the same outfit. And then I change it and do another reel and then do more reels. So that's what I do. And then I have them all saved up for the whole next week.
Yep. So what's great about that is the DMO, commenting and creating content. You only have to create content once the entire week, and that's done. Now you only have 4 things to worry about on your finding DMO.
And then all I have to do is just take those that I've saved and just post them every single day.
Yep. So that's what's awesome about batching content and finding out how to do that. If you're not used to it, try it once and see, okay, I've saved a bunch of video. I've seen some sounds. Okay, here's some different ideas of how to, for reels. Okay, on my day that maybe you're only doing 1 reel a day. Okay, film 5 or 6 or 7. And when you're in the mode, it's easier to get through a lot in one take, right? Or one little bit.
And so I'm going to just go back on this. So as you're doing your DMO each day, part of that, so where Fraser's talking about is right now you're going out into groups and doing that, where eventually as you're making this content, you want those people that they just start coming to you. So on Facebook, Shelly just gave a great tip that's where your content is starting to work for you. That you take the people that have commented on there, you take those likes, and then you start those conversations with them. Thank them for liking your post, answer to those comments, send them a message, add them as a friend, utilize those people. If they're coming and liking and commenting, utilize that stuff.
Yep. So I'm going to show you guys a little graph, because I don't know if we've shared this with you yet. I'm going to share my little whiteboard over. Okay. And we're going to make a little graph.
I think you did once. I remember you've done it once.
Maybe we'll do it one more time. How's that sound?
But it's just, we're going to go back to this because this is what I'm talking about.
So what Fraser Brooks said is what the goal is there's going to be kind of like a little bit of I think it's called a bell curve, or basically a curve, we'll just say. The graph is right here. There's going to be 2 lines, okay? This one up here is the action. We've talked about this with our Finding DMO, where you're actively going out and being intentional to try and bring people to you. Okay.
So that's the going into groups, you're commenting, you're adding friends, you're going in, all of that stuff that we've talked about.
Yep. And then this is attraction. Whoops, I spelled that wrong. Attraction. Okay. So what that means is this over here, hopefully in time, as you're spending a lot of time on the action right here, in time, as you create more and more content going up, hopefully there'll be a little part where you can spend less time going out and finding people to bring people to you, kind of the pulling marketing. Actually, sorry, pushing marketing. You're trying to intentionally push them to where you're at in your content and everything. Hopefully, as you create more content, people will like what the content you are and start coming to you. So then people are coming to you easier, and you don't have to come out and like try and push people to you. Okay.
And so this is the goal behind it, that's what you're doing is you're reaching out, you're seeing these people, but you're creating all this content. So then they want to follow you because they see all your content. So you need to do these hand in hand. And then over time, you're going to have so many people just coming to you that you're going to be just working with those, and you're not worried about going out and going into those groups.
You won't need to, because people are coming to you easier. Okay. So last bit of training that we want to go over, and then we'll do some Q&A, is he said there's 2 things you need to create on social media. 2 things you're trying to create overall. One is connection, and you can create connection through the content you're creating, and like the connection that you have on the commenting and the DMs that you're having with people. But the thing that he says is not a lot of people are doing very well is creating a sense of community with people. Because you, as the leader of the group, you're creating the connection with the different content you're creating and everything. But what you're trying to do is everybody that's following you, you want them to interact with each other. That way, if one person leaves, you're not the main person that's connecting with everybody. Everybody's connecting with each other. Okay. So that's the goal that we want to eventually get to with our groups, is to create a sense of community that everybody's loving the content that you have, and they're connecting with each other and not just with you. And you're not the one that has to initiate all the connections. Everyone's connecting with each other.
Well, and this is where it's huge, because I hear this from a lot of people on lives, that you have this community, that you have these people that come that want to watch you all the time. And so if somebody asks a question, if I don't answer it on my live, my community of amazing people, of my customers, they're in there answering for me, that it's like, oh, it's $5, or this is how much shipping is, or this is this. As you create this community, that these people, they feel special, they're here. And I've even heard that from influencers. They're like, you know what? I don't care about these haters, because I feel bad for them. Because if they make a comment on my page, I know my community is going to just rip them to shreds. And it's not, I don't want it to be that way, but you have this community that you're there for each other.
It's a defense. It's not about ripping each other out. It's just defending you. It's just like, hey, this is who we are. So sorry, like if you don't want to be a part of it, then leave, But they're
there. They feel that what you're trying to do for everybody, they're helping each other out. And so that's what you want to create, is you're going to have more, if you get more people and you create this community, they become your raving fans. They are going to be there for you, and they love you.
And that's the goal. That's the goal. Okay. So he said the different community types of, obviously Facebook group is pretty easy to have a community feel in there, but other ones that he's talked about, which we've kind of experienced a little bit and we've done a little bit with, is Telegram is an app that you can have a community in there and talk in there. And WhatsApp has a community aspect that you can get a big group in there as a group messaging and kind of connect with each other that way. Okay. So those are some ideas of ways to create community with your followers, and that other people can interact with each other. Okay. So anything else before we go into Q&A? Is that okay?
No, double dare.
Oh, so there was a double dare that he gave us. And basically what he said is go into and find the super recruiters. Oh, actually, before we go into this, there's actually one more little thing. Something he talked about really quick is he talked about the difference between kind of copying and modeling. Yeah. He said back in the day when we grew up in school, we had seats, 3 feet in front of us, 3 feet to the side, 3 feet to the left, 3 feet to the back. So
and what happened if you cheated?
If you didn't know the answer to something, what'd you do? You're trying to be like super inconspicuous about like not like trying to get the teacher to tell, but the teacher is walking around and making sure they get on you that you're not cheating, right? So copying was a huge no-no back in the day. And now it's welcomed.
Mm-hmm.
It's welcomed with creating content, because all you're doing is you're copying each other using the same sound, and you're just doing your own version of it. So it's modeling. And that's what's nice, is you don't have to be creative and come up with all this different content. It's there out there for you. And what's great about it is you want other people to copy you, because if they watch your reel and they like the sound off your reel, whatever platform you're on, that algorithm likes them.
Yeah. So say I did a sound and you guys came and you saw that it was going crazy. Go and use my same sound, because one, you see that it's trending, it's doing good. So you copy that sound and don't say the exact word for word. If you want to on mine, I don't care. Me personally, I don't care
if it's your own version of it, like who cares? Like there's plenty of content out there that people do that. So it's okay.
So I don't care. But if you see other people, do something in your own words that is similar to it. That I do that all the time. And so you can model it, copy it. If you do the same sound, that helps me out, that helps you out, and that shows the algorithm that's like, oh, this is a cool sound. And so it keeps putting you out there, it puts other people out there. So it's good to do that. The other thing with it is, do you want me to go into the double dare?
Yeah, real quick, and then
the double dare is go in, and you guys, as you're looking for content to do, for if you're going to batch out content, or if you're going to do this, you need to set a timer, because TikTok, all reels, you can get sucked into them and spend hours and hours. I want you to say, I'm doing this for an hour or for a half an hour, and look at your time wisely. And so the double dare is, I would say, spend 1 hour and go and look at the top sellers in paparazzi, the top recruiters, and just see what kind of content that they are doing, and reels or posts, and do some of those. Make the same type of post.
See if you could model them, right? So a huge thing that we want you to get into is, remember, be a content creator, not a content consumer. Okay. If you consume, do it intentionally and set a timer. We're not consumers. We're business owners. We're entrepreneurs. Okay. Be a content creator. Okay. So let's get into some Q&A for the last few minutes before we have to get off for new releases. Anybody have any questions, any comments, things that we want to add in at the very beginning, at the end of this? Just looking at Facebook, see if anybody has any questions over there.
Shelly, R&D, rob and duplicate.
Any questions out there for the dare today? For the dares today? Any past dares? Anything that we're doing? You are the face of your brand. Show yourself. Trending sounds, are those helpful when pushing out content with reels?
And you guys, you will feel every time I do reels,
that was a question.
I feel awkward at times. And I'm like, I feel like just horses patoot sometimes, or this is so out of my comfort zone, but it's okay. You just do it and just get it over with and don't think about it. Yep. What was it?
Trending sounds, are those helpful when pushing out content with reels? Yes. So trending sounds is obviously important, and we'll probably go more into that with Fraser Brooks. But obviously, trending sounds is helpful. You gotta be like strategic with when the time is of like when that's out right now. So if like you do batch content, you do a trending sound and you push that out till next week, it might not help you as much. But right now, like honestly, taking Mexi action, if you're not super familiar or experienced with that,
making something is better than nothing.
Anything is better than nothing. Exactly. Andrea, what can we help you out with?
What is the app that removes the watermark?
Let me see if I remember.
It will be, I do not remember. I'm almost positive it's in.
I have Snap Insta.app.
I use Insta Finsta.
Insta?
Insta Finsta.
Finsta?
Yeah. For Instagram. I make my reels on Instagram and then download them in that website.
Awesome. And I'm sure if you have any questions, or if one of these goes out, like if the Fin Insta doesn't work or the Insta Snap doesn't work, just Google another one. Just Google how to remove watermarks on Reels or TikToks, and I'm sure something will pop
up. Those websites are being taken down, so which I'll utilize the help.
Right. Good question.
And that was on day 15 as well, Andrea. So if you want to go back to day 15 and look in the comments above, that's on there as well.
Yep. Are we only looking for content from TikTok? No. So TikTok and Reels are the same thing. They're short form content. So if you find a Reel or a TikTok that you like, you can still do it on, I mean, you can use that as utilize that on a different platform.
And what I kind of heard is their sounds are starting, like they trend first, I think, on TikTok, and then they start to go on to Instagram. But I do everything on Instagram. So, and then I still put it over to TikTok. So if it's trending or if it wasn't, I still want to just get content out. So sometimes it may not have trended for a month, but something's better than nothing.
Okay. Well, it's about time to get off for new releases. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Facebook and here on Zoom. You guys are awesome. And we will see you next week.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you.